Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Colossians 3:23. I used to pray with words, now I pray with consistency. I learned to speak to God in a different kind of way, not just in my morning prayers or what I had to say, but in the discipline of showing up when no one watching, in the daily grind in the weight room, in the constant walking. Every rep became a conversation with the Most High. Every early morning alarm was me saying, Lord, I'm trying, not with eloquent words, but with action and commitment. Discipline became my worship, my daily sacrament. I used to think that faith was just about what I believed, but God showed me that faith is also what I achieved. Through consistency, through showing up, through doing what I said, through honoring my body like the temple scripture read. When I wanted to quit, when the bed was calling me, I'd remember that my discipline was my testimony. Not to prove to others, but to prove to God I'm serious, that my life is lived for Him, that my walk is not delirious. I don't just speak my faith, I live it every day, in the discipline I keep, in the price I choose to pay. When discipline became my language with God, words weren't enough, I had to walk the walk. My consistency became my prayer, my showing up, my praise. Every morning that arises, me saying I'm yours always. This ain't about perfection, it's about direction. It's about the daily choice to honor the connection. When discipline became my language with God, I learned to worship not just with my mouth but with my heart. I stopped separating sacred from the everyday, started seeing training as another form of prayer. God didn't just want my Sundays, He wanted all my weekend. He wanted my Monday mornings when my body felt weak. So I learned to honor Him in the mundane, in the grind, in the repetition, in the discipline of the mind. When I stay consistent even when I don't feel like it, I'm telling God your strength is perfect when I'm in my deficit. The world sees discipline as bondage, as a chain, but I see it as freedom, as the pathway out of pain. It's not legalism, it's love expressed through action. It's honoring the God who saved me with my daily reaction. Every worker is a sermon that I preach to my flesh. Every time I choose obedience, I'm choosing what's best. Not earning God's love, but responding to His grace. Discipline became my language in the spiritual race. Teach me to honor You in the hidden daily grind, to let my consistency speak when my words can't define. My discipline is worship, my showing up is prayer. I'm learning that You see me in the small things everywhere. When discipline became my language with God, my words weren't enough, I had to walk the walk. My consistency became my prayer, my showing up, my praise. Every morning that I rise is me saying I'm yours always. This ain't about perfection, it's about direction. It's about the daily choice to honor the connection. Stay connected became my language with God. I learned to worship not just with my mouth but with my heart, with my life. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. 1 Corinthians 9:24. God doesn't just hear my prayers, He sees my consistency. He watches the mornings I show up tired and still choose to honor Him. Discipline isn't about earning His love, it's about responding to it. It's saying thank you with my actions, not just my words. Every rep, every mile, every early morning is me speaking a language that goes beyond vocabulary. It's the language of faithfulness, of stewardship, of honor. And I'm learning that God hears this kind of prayer loud and clear. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Mark 8:36. I built my body while running from my maker, looking strong, feeling empty. I was chasing gains, getting stronger every week. My physique was on point, but my soul was getting weak. I could lift heavy weights, but couldn't carry my own shame. Built my temple, but forgot who the temple was for, man. People saw the muscle, saw the dedication, but they couldn't see I was running from a conversation with the God I've been avoiding, with the voice I wouldn't hear. I was drowning out conviction with the iron and the mirror. Every morning in the gym was an escape from what I knew. That my life was out of order, that my priorities were skewed. I was worshiping my body while neglecting my soul. Building strength on the outside while inside I wasn't whole. God was knocking but I turned up the music louder. Pushed another set, added one more hour. Thought if I looked good enough, maybe I feel right. But you can't work out your way out of a spiritual fight. I was running from the one who made me in the first place, hiding in my strength while avoiding his embrace. I was strong on the outside, avoiding God inside. A fortress with my body, but my soul had nowhere to hide. A muscle in the world couldn't fill the empty space that only God could occupy, that only He could take. I looked healthy in the mirror, but was dying in my spirit. Thought physical strength wasn't enough, but God wanted me to hear Him. I was strong on the outside, avoiding God inside, until I finally broke down and let Him in my life. I realized that my fitness had become my function. God, my identity, my worth, my applause. I was getting compliments, getting likes, getting praise, but none of it could satisfy the hunger that remained. God said, I made your body, but I care about your soul. You can sculpt your physique, but are you letting me make you whole? You're running from me in the name of self-improvement, but what you're really doing is avoiding the real movement. So I had to face the truth that I've been dodging, that my strength was just a match for what I wasn't. I was scared to be vulnerable, scared to be seen, so I hid behind the muscles and the discipline routine. But God broke through my walls with His persistent love. Showed me that your strength comes from depending on Him above, that I can steward my body while surrendering my heart, that fitness and faith don't have to be apart. Teach me to build both body and soul, to honor you fully, to let you make me whole. I don't wanna look strong while my spirit's weak inside. I wanna be healthy in your truth. And I was strong on the outside, avoiding God into the fortress with my body, but my soul had nowhere to hide. All the muscle in the world couldn't fill the empty space that only God could occupy, that only He could take. I looked healthy in the mirror, but was dying in my spirit. Thought physical strength was enough, but God wanted me to hear Him. I was strong on the outside, avoiding God inside, until I finally broke down and let Him in my life. For physical training is of some value, but godliness is value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. 1 Timothy 4:8. I'm learning that true strength isn't just physical, it's spiritual surrender. It's letting God in. I can pursue fitness while pursuing God. I can steward my body while surrendering my heart. The gym isn't my escape anymore. It's where I worship, not by avoiding God, but by inviting Him into the process. I'm building both now. Body and soul, muscle and faith, and I'm finally whole. Spiritual core, physical strength without spiritual health is hollow. We can build our bodies while running from God, using fitness as an escape rather than worship. True wholeness comes when we surrender both body and soul to Christ, stewarding our physical health while prioritizing our spiritual life.
Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. Galatians 1:10. I was performing for the crowd until I learned to train for an audience of one. Yeah. I used to train with my phone out, posting every set, chasing validation, measuring my worth by the internet. Every workout was a show, every rep for the gram, bidding my body for applause instead of who I am. I compare my progress to everyone I saw. Felt good when I was ahead, felt broken when I fall. My motivation was attention, was the likes and the praise, but that foundation shaky won't sustain you for days. I was trapped in competition with people I don't know, comparing my chapter 3 to someone's chapter 10 show. My worth was tied to aesthetics, to how I look to others, and that prison had me working out, but feeling smothered. Then God asked me a question that cut through all the noise. Who are you training for, son? What's motivated your choice? Is it to glorify me or to glorify yourself? Is it stewardship of what I gave you or just status and wealth? Yeah, I laid down a need to be seen and approved. Started training for the one who has nothing to prove. The day I stopped training to impress anyone, I found freedom in the movement, in the work that I begun. No more chasing validation or comparing where I'm at. Just do it in my body for the God who made it, that's a fact. This ain't about aesthetics or the image that I show. It's about honoring my maker with the temple that he knows. The day I stopped training to impress anyone, I finally learned what it means to train for the glory of the sun. I deleted the compulsion to document it all. Stopped measuring my value by who noticed or who called. Started training in the quiet, just me and God alone, and found more joy in that than all the praise I'd ever known. I learned that stewardship isn't about being the best. It's about being faithful with what God's given, doing my best. Not for applause or approval, but because he deserves my dedication to the body that his hands carefully curve. Now when I train, I'm not thinking about who's watching me. I'm thinking about honoring God with my consistency. It's worship in the weight room, it's prayer in the grind, it's saying thank you for this body and this sound mind. The comparison trap lost its power when I shifted my focus from horizontal validation to vertical devotion and notice. I don't need to be better than anyone else, I just need to be faithful with the stewardship of myself. I'm not training for the mirror, not training for the crowd. I'm training for the one who's made me strong and proud. No more ego, no more flex, just faithfulness and care. Honoring the body that my father made with prayer. The day I stopped training to impress anyone, I found freedom in the movement, in the work that I begun. No more chasing validation or comparing where I'm at. Just do it in my body for the God who made it, that's a fact. This ain't about aesthetics or the image that I show. It's about honoring my maker with the temple that he knows. The day I stopped training to impress anyone, I finally learned what it means to train for the glory of the sun. For your glory. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. I'm free now, free from the comparison, free from the need to impress, free from performing for people. My training is worship, my consistency is stewardship, my discipline is devotion to the one who made me. I don't need the crowd's approval because I have the Father's affection. I don't need to be the best, I just need to be faithful. And that changes everything, cause now I train, not to be seen, but to honor the one who sees me always.
Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. Hebrews 12:2. I thought I was backsliding, but I just stopped looking at him. I didn't walk away from God, I just got distracted. Started focusing on everything else, got sidetracked, and lost sight of the one who was holding me together. My faith was still there, but my focus wasn't centered. I was looking at my problems instead of my provider, staring at the storm instead of the one who rides it. My eyes were on the noise, on the chaos, on the screen, on the next thing, on the hustle, on everything between. I wasn't doubting God's existence or his power, I just stopped fixing my gaze on him every hour. Got caught up in the scroll, in the feed, in the race, and slowly my connection weakened cause I shifted my face. See, faith doesn't disappear when you take your eyes off him, but the clarity does, the peace does, the strength within grows dim when you're not focused on the source of it all. I didn't lose my faith, I just stopped answering the call. My faith was never gone, I just looked away. Now I'm turning back to fix my eyes and pray. I didn't lose faith, I lost focus. Took my eyes off Jesus, got caught up in emotion. But when I turn my gaze back to the one who holds me, the clarity returns, the peace flows, I'm not lonely. It wasn't that I stopped believing, I just stopped looking at the truth. Now I'm fixing my eyes on Jesus, and he's making all things new. I was checking my phone more than I was checking in with God. Scrolling through the noise instead of sitting in the pause. My attention was divided, pulled in every direction, and I wondered why I felt like I was losing the connection. But God was never far, he was right where he's always been, waiting for me to turn my head and look at him again. It's like Peter walking on the water, eyes on Christ. The moment he looked at the waves, he started sinking right. Same thing happened to me in the middle of my grind. Started looking at my circumstance instead of the divine. Got overwhelmed by what I saw instead of who I know. Lost my focus and my peace started moving slow. But the good news is restoration is just a turn away. A refocus, a realignment, a choice I made today. To fix my eyes on Jesus, to turn off all the noise, to prioritize his presence over every other voice. Teach me to focus in a world full of distractions, to keep my eyes on you in every interaction. When the noise gets loud and I start to drift away, remind me where to look, bring my faith, give me lose faith. I lost focus, took my eyes off Jesus, got caught up in emotion. But when I turn my gazes back to the one who holds me, the clarity returns, the peace flows, I'm not lonely. It wasn't that I stopped believing, I just started looking at the truth, lost my gaze. Now I'm fixing my eyes on Jesus, and he's making all things new. All things new, things get new.
Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Colossians 3:1-2. I'm learning that faith isn't the problem. Focus is. I didn't lose my belief in God, I just got distracted. So I'm being intentional now
about where my eyes go, where my attention goes, where my mind dwells. I'm turning off the noise, putting down the phone, stepping away from the chaos, and fixing my gaze on the one who never moves, who's been here all along, waiting for me to look and remember who he is. My faith is intact, I just needed to refocus, and when I do, everything else come back into you.
Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. I ran to the waste when I should have run to him. Used to burn to avoid the silence.
Yeah. I woke up every morning. I woke up every morning, 5 a.m. on a dot. Hit the gym with intensity, giving everything I got. People said I was dedicated, called me disciplined and strong, but really I was running from what was going wrong. See, sweat was easier than sitting with my pain. Physical exhaustion was simpler than a mental strain. So I pushed another rep, ran another mile, drowned out my thoughts with the movement for a while. I used the gym as therapy, but never dealt with the root. Just buried all my issues under muscle, that's the truth. The burn in my chest was better than the ache in my heart. So I kept training hard, I kept tearing myself apart. But God was whispering, son, you can't outrun your mind. You can't lift the weight of trauma, can't leave the pain behind. Through physical exertion, you need a face what's there. You need to be still with me, you need to stop and share. I was running from the quiet, where my thoughts would speak, but God was calling me to the stillness I was seeing. Sweat was easier than facing my thoughts. Movement was safer than the silence I fought. But Jesus called me to the quiet, to the still, where healing happens when I surrender my will. I can't train my way out of what's broken inside. Can't outwork the pain that I'm trying to hide. Sweat was easier than facing my thoughts, but God's peace is found where the noise stops. Yeah. I realized my consistency was actually avoidance. My discipline was really just emotional displacement. I was using fitness as a way to stay numb, to never have to sit and deal with where I'm from. But healing doesn't happen in the constant motion. It happens in the stillness and the quiet devotion. To facing what I buried, to bringing it to light, to letting God into the parts I kept out of sight. So I had to learn to sit, to be still, to be quiet, to stop using the grind to avoid my internal riot. God said I love your discipline, but I want your heart. I want the parts you're hiding, I want the broken parts. Now I still train my body, but with different intention. Not to escape my thoughts, but for proper stewardship and redemption. I face my mind in silence, bring my thoughts to God, and find that healing comes when I stop working so hard. Teach me to be still in a world that never stops. Yeah. Teach me that your presence is where the healing drops. I don't need to keep moving to avoid what's inside. I need to sit with you and let you be my guide. Sweat was easier than facing my thoughts. Easier than the silence I fought. For the quiet, Jesus called me to the quiet, to the still. Only feeling heaven when I surrender my will. Surrender all, train my way out of what's broken inside. Can't outwork the pain that I'm I'm trying to hide. Hidden pain was easier than facing my thoughts, but I'm not good at facing my thoughts. In the stillness is found where the noise stops.
Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. I'm learning that stillness isn't weakness. It's where the real work happens. The work that can't be done in motion. The healing that requires quiet. God doesn't want me to escape my thoughts. He wants to meet me in them. To heal what's broken. To restore what's damaged. So I'm learning to sit, to be still. To face what I've been avoiding. And let God into the silence. The gym still has its place, but it's not my hiding spot anymore. It's where I steward my body, not where I escape my mind. Because real strength isn't just physical. It's the courage to sit in silence and let God heal what hurts. Come to me, your heights.
After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:12.
I used to blast the music to drown out everything, until I found God in the silence afterward. I had my headphones on, volume all the way up, pushing through the work, I never letting up. The bass was pounding lyrics, keeping me distracted from the thoughts I didn't want, from the feelings I redacted. Every training session was a concert in my head. Needed that stimulation, no, I felt like I was dead. Couldn't handle silence, couldn't handle being alone with my own mind, my own thoughts in my own zone. But one day the battery died, the music cut out, and I was left to breathing heavy, filled with doubt. In the quiet of the gym, just me and my reflection. And that's when Jesus showed up in that unexpected intersection. He said, I've been here all along, but you couldn't hear me speak, cause you were drowning out my voice with the noise you see. I'm not in the loud, I'm not in the hype, I'm the still small voice you've been avoiding all your life. When the noise fades away and I'm left alone, that's when I hear you clearest, that's when you make yourself known. Jesus met me after the music stopped. In the silence I've been avoiding, in the quiet I fought. When the bass dropped out and I couldn't hide, that's when I heard his voice on the inside. I needed the noise to fall away, to hear what he'd been trying to say. Jesus met me after the music stopped, and in the silence I found what I'd lost. I realized I've been using sound as a spiritual wall, building barriers with beats so I wouldn't hear the call, to deal with my issues, to face my internal war. The music was my medication, but God wanted more. He wanted access to the parts I kept on mute, the thoughts I buried under every sick beating flute, the fears I covered up with motivation, the tracks, the pain I hid behind the drums and the 808 claps. So I started training in the silence more often. Let the gym be a place where my heart could soften. No more constant stimulation, no more audio escape, just me and God in the quiet, that's the sacred space. And I found that his presence is louder than any song, that his peace is stronger than his pace is strong. That connection with him happens in the still, not in the hype, but in the quiet of his will. In the silence I can hear you, in the quiet you draw near. I don't need the noise to feel you, you're present when nothing's here. Teach me to embrace the moments without sound. That's where you meet me, that's where I'm found. Oh, Jesus met me after the music stopped. In the quiet, in the silence I've been avoiding, in the quiet I'd fought. I was running when the bass dropped out and I couldn't hide. That's when I heard his voice on the inside. I needed the noise to fall away, had to stop to hear what he'd been trying to say. He was speaking. Jesus met me after the music stopped. There you were, and in the silence I found what I lost. Found you there.
In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. Isaiah 30:15. I still train with music sometimes, but I'm intentional now about creating space for silence. for the quiet moments with God, because I learned that He often speaks. Not in the loud, not in the noise, but in the stillness after. When the music stops, and I'm left with just my thoughts, and just His presence, that's when a real conversation happens. I was so afraid of silence, cause I knew what I'd hear. My own brokenness, my own need. But that's exactly where Jesus wanted to meet me. In the vulnerable quiet, in the honest stillness, where I couldn't hide behind the noise. Now I welcome the silence, because I know He's there, waiting to speak, waiting to heal, in the sacred quiet after the music stops.
Come near to God and He will come near to you, James 4:8. I had the discipline down. But I was still empty inside. I was consistent with my routine, never missed a day. Had my workout scheduled, had my habits all in play. My discipline was impressive, people asked me how I did it, but inside I was hollow, consistency couldn't fix it. I thought if I just showed up, if I just stayed the course, that the structure would heal me, that the routine was the source. Transformation of healing of the peace I couldn't find. But you can be disciplined and still be dying inside. See, I was faithful to the schedule, but distant from the Savior. Had a form of godliness, but denied the power and the favor. I was checking boxes, building streets, maintaining the grind, but never stopping to connect with God, never taking time. And I realized that discipline without devotion is just motion. That consistency without communion is just going through the motions. I needed more than a routine, I needed a relationship. More than a program, I needed His presence, His companionship. I can be consistent and still feel alone, but your presence changes everything, makes my heart your home. Consistency didn't heal me, presence did. Discipline was good, but it wasn't enough to fix the brokenness I carried, the emptiness inside. I needed God's presence, needed Him to abide. Routine gave me structure, but relationship gave me life. Discipline kept me moving, but presence ended the strife. Consistency didn't heal me, presence did. When I stopped performing and just sat with Him, I had to learn that God doesn't just want my effort. He wants my attention, He wants my heart, He wants me present. Not just going through the motions of a Christian routine, but actually communing with Him in the in-between. So I started prioritizing presence over performance, spending time with God, not just for Him, but because I wanted it. Not checking off a box, but actually connecting. Not just reading scripture, but letting it be effective. And something shifted when I stopped trying to earn it, when I realized that His presence was the goal, not just a mirror. For consistent quiet times, a disciplined devotion, but actual intimacy, actual emotional commotion. The healing came when I let Him into my bed. Not when I had it all together, but when I confessed that I was broken, that I needed Him, that discipline wasn't enough, that I needed His presence in the middle of my stuff. I don't just need a routine, I need your faith. I don't just need to be consistent, I need your grace. Discipline has its place, but it can't replace the healing that only comes from being in your space. Consistency didn't heal me, presence did. Your discipline was good, but it wasn't enough to fix the brokenness I carried, the emptiness inside. I needed God's presence, needed Him to abide. Routine gave me structure, but relationship gave me life. Real island kept me moving, but presence ended the strife. Consistency didn't heal me, presence did. When I stopped performing and just sat with Him, just with you. You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. Psalm 16:11. I'm not saying discipline is bad. It's good, it's valuable, but it can't replace relationship. It can't substitute intimacy. I can have the most consistent quiet time and still be distant from God. If I'm just checking a box,
instead of actually connecting. Consistency gives me structure, but presence gives me life. Discipline keeps me moving, but relationship transforms me. So now I pursue both. The consistency that honors God, and the presence that heals me. Not one without the other. Because I learned that God doesn't just want my routine. He wants my heart. And healing comes not from perfect discipline, but from being present with Him.
I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Ezekiel 36:26. I built walls with my discipline, but God wanted access to my heart. I could deadlift heavy, push my limits every day. Built my body strong, but kept my emotions locked away. Train my muscles, but my heart stayed fortified. Built a fortress with my chest, but kept my soul inside. I was disciplined with fitness, consistent with the grind. But when it came to feeling deeply, I drew the line. Vulnerability was weakness, that's what I believe. So I trained my body hard, but my heart I never freed. People saw the strength, saw the physique I had built, but they couldn't see the walls, couldn't see the guilt I was carrying inside. The pain I wouldn't share, the emotions I buried under muscle and despair. God was knocking on my heart, asking me to let Him in. But I kept training harder, kept building discipline as a substitute for surrender, as a way to stay in control. While my heart stayed closed and I felt less and less whole. I can train my body, but my heart needs healing too. I've been building walls when you're asking me to open up to you. I trained my body while my heart stayed closed. Built strength on the outside, but inside I was froze. God was calling me to open up, to let Him in. But I kept the fortress up, wouldn't let the healing begin. Physical strength can't heal a heart that won't surrender. Can't replace the vulnerability I need to remember. I trained my body while my heart stayed closed, until God broke through the walls I carefully composed. I realized that my resistance to emotional connection was rooted in the fear of losing my protection. If I opened up my heart, if I let someone see the broken parts inside, would they still accept me? So I kept it all locked down, kept it all contained. Used my discipline as armor, used my strength to restrain any feeling that threatened to expose my pain. But you can't heal what you hide, you can't grow through the shame. God said, son, I see your strength, but I want your heart. I want the parts you're protecting, the wounded parts. You can train your body all you want, but if your heart's still stone, you'll be strong on the outside, but you still feel alone. So I had to face the fear, had to lower the defense, had to let God into the places that were tense, with pain and trauma that I never let be seen. And found that healing starts when you stop being so mean to yourself. Teach me to be strong, but also to be soft, to train my body hard while my heart's no longer locked. I don't wanna be a fortress, a wall so high and thick. I wanna be open to you, let your healing do its work quick. I trained my body while my heart stayed closed. With strength on the outside, but inside I was froze. So it's calling me to open up, to let Him in. But I kept the fortress up, wouldn't let the healing begin. Physical strength can't heal a heart that won't surrender. Can't replace the vulnerability I need to remember. I trained my body while my heart stayed closed. Why I broke through the walls I carefully composed. You broke through. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. I'm learning that true strength isn't just physical, it's emotional and spiritual too. It's the courage to open your heart. I spent so long believing that vulnerability was weakness, that feeling deeply was dangerous, that opening up was risky. But God showed me that a closed heart is a broken heart, that walls don't protect, they isolate. So I'm learning to be strong and soft at the same time, to train my body while also opening my heart, to let God in, to let people isn't just about what you can live. It's about what you can feel and still stand.
Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest, Matthew 11:28. I thought rest was for the weak, until I learned it was commanded by God. I was grinding 7 days, no breaks, no pause. The rest was laziness, but also was the cause of success, of blessing, of everything I gained. So I pushed through exhaustion, worked through the pain. The country said no days off, said sleep when we dead. So I internalized the message, kept it in my head. Felt guilty every time I thought about slowing down. That question was failing like I lose my crown. I don't want my busyness like a badge of honor. Brag about how little sleep I got, how much I conquered. But inside I was breaking, burning out, so my body was screaming, but I wouldn't let it show. Then God whispered something that I didn't wanna hear. Rest isn't weaving, son, it's wisdom, it's clear. I built it in creation, made it part of the design. Even I rested on the 7th, took the time. I've been running all empty, thinking rest was defeat. But you're calling me to stillness, you find strength in the retreat. Yeah. Flesh felt like failing until Jesus redefined it. Told me that Sabbath was laziness, but how he designed it. I don't have to earn my worth through constant motion. Yeah. God's love isn't based on my hustle or devotion. Yeah, yeah. Rest is an act of trust, not a sound in the feet. The same God, you got this one, now to take a seat. Rest felt like fitting until Jesus redefined it. I realized my grind was rooted in anxiety and the fear that if I stopped, I lose my identity. That my value was tied to what I could produce. That rest meant I was falling behind, that I knew it. But Jesus flipped the script, said don't ready enough. You don't have to earn my love, the work in itself rough. Rest is a gift I gave you, it's part of my grace. It's trusting that I'm sovereign when you slow your pace. So I started practicing that and started taking breaks. Not out of laziness, but for my mental health's sake. And I found that I was stronger when I honored rest, and my productivity increased when I gave my body what's best. The guilt started fading when I realized the truth, that God commanded rest. It's biblical proof that taking care of myself isn't selfish or weak. Stewardship for the body and it's only making me. Teach me to rest in a world that never sleeps. Teach me that your love is inside of what I can't produce, and I don't have to prove my worth through exhaustion ain't mine. I go rest in your presence and be renewed in mine. Flesh felt like failing until Jesus redefined it. Told me that Sabbath was a laziness, but how he designed it. I don't like you on my word, a custom motion. Yeah. God's love isn't based on my hustle or devotion. Rest is an act of pride, not a sign and a fix. The same God, you got this when I take a seat. The rest felt like failure until Jesus redefined it. Now I know that stopping is where real strength is fighting. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. Psalm 107:2. I learned that rest is sacred, not because it makes me more productive, but because God commanded it. You built it into creation. Rest is an act of worship. Just saying, God, just stop, then I trust you enough to stop working. The world says rest is for the weak, but God says rest is for the wise who understand that their worth isn't in their output. So I'm giving myself permission to rest without guilt, to take breaks without shame, to honor the Sabbath that God designed for my good. Because real strength isn't just pushing through exhaustion, it's knowing when to stop and trust that God's got it, even when I'm resting.
He says, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. In the chaos of the weights and the noise all around, I heard him whisper.
The gym was packed, music blasting through the speakers. Weights were clanging, people grunting, everyone seeking their own goals, their own gains, their own transformation. But in the middle of the chaos, I felt a quiet invitation. I was mid-set, pushing through the burn and the strain, when I heard a voice so gently cut through the pain. Not audible to anyone else, just a whisper in my soul. God was speaking in the loudest place, making me whole. He said, I'm here with you even in this noise. I'm not far away, I'm present in your choice to honor me with your body, to steward what I gave. This moment right here is holy, this weight room is sacred space. I stopped for a second, tears almost in my eyes, realized that God wasn't distant, wasn't up in the skies. He was right there with me in the grind and the sweat, speaking softly while the world around me was loud and upset.
In the noise I heard you, in the chaos you drew near. Your whisper was the loudest voice that I could hear. The gym was loud, but God spoke softly. In the middle of the noise he found me. His whisper cut through the chaos and the sound, reminding me that holy ground is anywhere he's found. I don't need a quiet place to hear his voice. He speaks in every day, in the motion and the choice. The gym was loud, but God spoke softly, and his gentle words transformed me.
I used to think that God only spoke in silence in the early morning quiet, or the church's sacred climate, but he met me in the weight room, in the middle of my rep. Showed me that he's present in every single step. He whispered, this is worship when you do it under me, when you steward your body, when you honor what I see. It's valuable and precious is the temple I designed. This training isn't separate from your spiritual life, and I realize that sacred isn't just a Sunday thing, it's every moment lit for God. It's the offering I bring in the mundane, in the daily, in the sweat and in the grind. God is speaking if I'm willing to listen and to find him. Now when I train, I'm listening for his voice, not just in the quiet, but in the noise. He speaks in the struggle, in the push, in the pull. His whisper is the anchor when my tank's not full.
You're not confined to the quiet sacred spaces. Meet me in the noise, in the everyday places. Teach me to hear you in the chaos and the loud. Your whisper is the clearest when I'm in the crowd. The gym was loud, but God spoke soft. The noise he found me, whisper cut through the chaos and the sound, reminding me that holy ground is anywhere he's found. I don't need a quiet place to hear his voice. He speaks in every day, in the motion and the choice. The gym was loud, but God spoke softly, and his gentle words transformed me.
Whether you turn to the right, to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way. Walk in it, Isaiah 30:21. I'm learning that God isn't limited to quiet moments of sacred buildings. He speaks in the noise, in the everyday, in the weight room. His whisper is powerful enough to cut through any chaos. If I'm listening, if I'm present, if I'm aware, the gym isn't separate from my spiritual life, it's part of it. Every rep can be worship, every second be sacred if I invite him in. And I'm finding that the loudest places can become the most holy when God shows up and speaks softly into my soul.
I'm listening now, not just in the quiet,
But in the chaos too, because he's there, speaking, always speaking, if I'll just tune in. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. I was running hard, but I didn't know where I was going. I didn't need more drive. I didn't need more drive. Yeah. I didn't need more drive. I didn't need more drive. Yeah. I consumed every motivation, the video I could find. Read every self-help book, tried to reprogram my mind. Got hyped up every morning, told myself I could do it. Had to drive, had to hustle, had the will to pursue it. But at the end of the day, I was still feeling lost. Running in circles, didn't matter what it cost. I had the energy, had the passion, had the fire burning, but no clear destination, just a constant churn. Motivation got me moving, but it couldn't tell me where. Drive got me
running, but it didn't get me there. I was working hard for something, but I didn't know what. Was chasing the next thing, staying stuck in the rut. Then God said, son, you don't need another pep talk. You don't need more hype, you need to stop and walk with me. Let me show you the direction that you're missing. Cause drive without direction is a no, it's not a mission. I was running hard, but running blind. I needed more than motivation, I needed your design. I didn't need more drive, I needed direction. All the motivation in the world couldn't give me that connection to the purpose God had placed inside my soul. I was running fast but moving nowhere, losing control. Drive get you started but direction get you there. Motivation faced but God's calling is always clear. I didn't need more drive, I needed direction. And I found it when I stopped and asked for God's correction. The culture sells us hustle like it's the answer to it all. Just work harder, push faster, never let yourself fall. But nobody's asking what are you working toward. Is it God's purpose or just something you adored? I was hustling for success, but I couldn't define it. Chasing goals I saw others chase, trying to align with their vision, their path, their version of the dream. But God was saying, that's not what I designed for you, it seems. So I had to stop consuming motivation like a drug and start seeking God's direction, start giving them a hug. Of my plans, of my ambitions, of my drive and my will. Asking, Lord, where do you want me? And learning to be still. When I did, He gave me clarity I never known. Showed me purpose that was deeper than anything I'd shown. On social media or in my highlight reel, He gave me direction that was lasting and real. I don't need another speed, I don't need another speed. Ball grinding in the hustle, ball grinding in the hustle. I need your voice to lead, I need your voice to lead. Through the noise and the struggle, through the noise and teach me to see, teach me to see. Your direction overdrive, your direction overdrive. To find my purpose in you, my purpose in you. That's where I come alive. I didn't need more drive, I didn't need direction. All the motivation in the world couldn't give me that connection. Purpose God had placed inside my soul. I was running fast but moving nowhere, losing control. Drive get you started but direction gets you there. Motivation faced but God's calling is always clear. I didn't need more drive, I needed direction. And I found it when I stopped and asked for God's correction.
Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths, guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Psalm 25:4-5. I'm done chasing motivation that doesn't lead anywhere. I'm done with drive that has no destination. God's calling isn't about working harder or faster. It's about working in the right direction. Motivation gets me hype, but it doesn't give me purpose. God's direction does, His calling does.
So I'm asking Him now, Lord, where do you want me? Lord, how can I get more motivated? But what's your purpose for my life? Because I've learned that all the drive in the world is meaningless without divine direction. And when I have His direction, I don't need manufactured motivation. His purpose is enough to keep me moving forward.
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. I was running from myself, disguised as discipline. I kept my schedule packed, didn't leave a single gap. Trained twice a day if I could, never took a nap. If I stopped moving, if I gave myself a break, the feelings I was burying would start to surface and ache. So I stayed busy, stayed active, stayed on the move. Used to grind as anesthesia, used to hustle to soothe the pain I wasn't ready to acknowledge or to face. The trauma I was carrying, the hurt I couldn't erase. People called me dedicated, said my work ethic was strong, but really I was been running all along. From the parts of me that needed attention and care, I kept moving so I wouldn't have to go there. Every rep was a distraction, every mile was escape from the emotions I was feeling, from the grief and the weight. I was using fitness like a drug to stay numb, to avoid the healing work that needed to be done. I was running from the pain, hiding in the grind, but God was calling me to stop and unwind. I kept moving so I wouldn't feel. Used to training as a way to avoid what's real, but God said, son, you can't outrun your pain. You can't exercise away what's inside your brain. living in perpetual motion. It happens when you stop and face the emotion. I kept moving so I wouldn't feel, but Jesus met me when I finally stood still.
I was afraid that if I slowed down, I'd fall apart, that the grief I've been avoiding would break my heart. So I stayed in constant motion, never gave myself room to process what I've been through, to sit inside the tomb. But God was patient with me, waiting for the day when I finally get exhausted and couldn't run away. And when that moment came, when my body said enough, I had to face the feelings I've been covering up. And it was hard, it was painful, it was everything I feared. But on the other side of feeling something finally clear, the weight I've been carrying started to release. When I stopped moving and let God give me peace, I learned that healing isn't passive, it takes work to feel. To sit with your emotions, to let the pain be real, to bring it all to Jesus, to lay it at his feet, instead of running from it in the name of staying elite.
Teach me to be still when my instinct is to run. Teach me that healing happens when the moving is done. I don't have to fear what I'll find if I stay. You with me in the stillness, you won't let me break. I kept moving so I wouldn't feel. Use the training as a way to avoid what's real. But God said, Tim, can I run your pain? Can exercise away what's inside your brain. Anything that's hidden in perpetual motion. Baby, when you stop and face the emotions, the emotion I felt to feel. Just made me what I finally stood still in.
He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 14:7-3. I'm learning that stillness isn't weakness. It's where the real work happens. The healing work. The facing your pain work. I can't train my way out of trauma, can't work out my way past grief. Can't run fast enough to leave my emotions behind. God wants me whole, not just physically fit. And wholeness requires that I stop and feel. So I'm giving myself permission to slow down, to sit with what hurts, to bring it to Jesus. The gym still has its place, but it's not my escape anymore. It's where I steward my body, while also honoring my emotions. And I'm finding that on the other side of feeling is freedom, is healing, is the peace I was running from all along.
Remain in me. As I also remain in you, no branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine, John 15:4. I thought he'd demand more from me, but he just wanted me to stay.
I was waiting for Jesus to push me like a drill sergeant, to demand more discipline, more hustle, more argument. With my flesh, more performance, more striving to please. But instead he whispered, just abide with me in peace. I didn't understand it at first, thought I needed to do more. Thought faith was about working harder than before. But Jesus said, I'm not asking you to grind yourself to dust. I'm asking you to stay connected, to remain in trust. See, the culture taught me that more is always better. That intensity is proof of dedication, that pressure is what produces diamonds that I gotta push through pain. But Jesus showed me that remaining is the sustainable gain. He didn't add more to my plate, didn't make the burden heavy. He said my yoke is easy, my burden light and steady. Stay with me, abide in me, that's all I'm asking for. The fruit will come from staying, not from striving more.
You're not asking me to hustle, you're asking me to stay. Not to prove my worth through effort, but to remain in you each day. Jesus didn't push me harder, he taught me to stay. To remain in his presence, to abide every day. Not to earn his love through performance or grind, but to rest in his vine, let the fruit come with time. Staying isn't passive, it's the hardest work I know. To remain when I wanna run, to abide when I wanna go. Jesus didn't push me harder, he taught me to stay. And that's where transformation happens in a lasting way.
I realized that my instinct was always to do more, to add another practice, to push a little harder than before. But Jesus was inviting me to something kind of cultural, to stillness, to presence, to connection that's durable. He said, I'm not impressed by how much you can achieve. I'm after your heart, your presence, your belief. that I'm enough, that my grace is sufficient for you, that remaining in me is better than anything you do. And that challenged everything I've been taught about faith, that is measured by activity, by the spiritual pace. But Jesus modeled something different in his ministry. He withdrew to pray, stay connected to the Father frequently. So I'm learning to staying isn't about being stagnant. It's about being rooted, being grounded, being adamant that my source is Jesus, that I can't produce fruit alone, that remaining in him is how I'm truly grown. Teach me to abide when my flesh wants to strive. Teach me that remaining is how I truly thrive. I don't need to have more, I need to stay connected to the vine who gives me life. That's where I'm protected. Jesus didn't push me harder, he taught me to stay, to remain in his presence, to abide every day. His love to perform, it's a grind, but to rest in his vine, let the fruit come with time. Staying isn't passive, it's the hardest work I know. To remain when I wanna run, to abide when I wanna go. Jesus didn't push me harder, he taught me to stay, and that's where transformation happens in a lasting way. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Galatians 5:22-23. I'm learning that the Christian life isn't about doing more. It's about remaining, abiding. Staying connected to Jesus. The fruit I wanna produce doesn't come from my effort. It comes from staying attached to the vine. Jesus doesn't push me harder, he invites me stay closer, to remain in his love, to abide in his presence. And when I do, when I stop striving and start abiding, the fruit comes naturally, not forced, not manufactured, but grown from the inside out. Because I'm connected to the source, to the vine, to Jesus. And that's where real transformation happens. Not in the hustle, but in the staying.